Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we're going to learn how to automatically update WooCommerce order status in Google Sheets. So as a business owner, I'm selling my products with the help of WooCommerce as it is an amazing e-commerce platform. And I want that whenever I'm going to update the status of the orders that are placed in my WooCommerce account, automatically the status should also be updated in my Google Sheets as I've added data of my orders that are placed in my WooCommerce accounts in my Google Sheets. For that, what we're going to do is we are going to create an automation between WooCommerce and Google Sheets with the help of Pabbly Connect. Pabbly Connect runs on two concepts, that is trigger and action. In this process, my trigger application is going to be WooCommerce and my action application is going to be Google Sheets. If you want to learn how to do this automation, then let me take you all to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to update WooCommerce orders in Google Sheets. So here my objective is that whenever I do an update in my WooCommerce orders, as you can see over here, these are the orders that has been placed with the help of WooCommerce. And as the status of these orders are going to be updated in my WooCommerce, automatically the status should be updated in my Google Sheets right over here. For that, what we are going to do is we are going to create an automation between WooCommerce and Google Sheets with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign in to my Pabbly Connect account. After that, you can see all Pabbly apps in front of you, in which you can see 5 applications of Pabbly, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on Access Now. Pabbly Connect's dashboard is next going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, you click on this top right corner button right over here that says Create Workflow. Then a new dialog box is going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a workflow name. So I'm going to give a name to my workflow as Automatically Update WooCommerce Order Status in Google Sheets. After that, it is asking for us to select a folder. On the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, to click on this drop down arrow right over here, you can see these are the folders that I've created in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select WooCommerce Automations as the folder I'm going to save this workflow in. After that, we're going to click on Create in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Automatically Update WooCommerce Order Status in Google Sheets. And there are 2 windows in front of you. One says Trigger, another says Action. Trigger and Action are the 2 most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these 2 steps. Over here, Trigger says when this happens, and Action says do this. That means our action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. Firstly, what we're going to do is we're going to set up our trigger step. For that, to click on this arrow right over here. For the trigger application right over here, we're going to select it as WooCommerce. And for the trigger event, I'm going to select it as Order Updated, so that whenever an order is updated with the help of WooCommerce, automatically Pabbly Connect should capture the response. After selecting the trigger application and the event, you can see Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. With the help of this unique webhook URL, we're going to connect WooCommerce with Pabbly Connect. For that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this URL from here first. After copying, we have to follow the steps given here below in order to connect Pabbly Connect with WooCommerce. How are you going to connect it? First, we have to open our WooCommerce account. As you can see, this is my WooCommerce account over here, and over here you can see over here it says WooCommerce on the left side of my screen. Under WooCommerce, you can see there are multiple options, from which we are going to select Settings. After clicking on Settings, we will be landed on this page. Over here you can see a bar is given, and from this bar we are going to select Advanced. After that, we are going to scroll down. Over here on the page setup, we are going to click on Webhooks. Over here we have landed on the webhook page. Over here next to webhook it states Add Webhook. We are going to click on it. After that, you will be landed to webhook data page. Over here it is asking for the name of the webhook that you want to give. So I'm going to give a name to my webhook as Dummy. Then for the status over here, we're going to select it as Active. For the topic right over here, as we want that whenever an order is updated, automatically Pabbly Connect should capture the response. So from the topic right over here, we're going to select it as Order Updated. Then for the delivery URL, we're going to paste the URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. Then we are going to skip the part for the secret and the API version. After that, we're going to click on Save Webhook. As you can see right over here, it says webhook updated successfully. So if I'm going to take you back to my webhook setup, Over here you can see a webbook is successfully added in my WooCommerce account in the name of dummy and the status is active for order updated. Now over here, after setting up our webbook URL, what we are going to do is I'm going to open my Pabbly Connect account, and over here we have received a response and we have received a webbook ID. This is the ID of the webbook connection that we have done with WooCommerce and Pabbly Connect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do an update in our order of the status, and we're going to check whether Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of that updated order or not. For that, I'm going to open Pabbly Connect again, and next we're going to click on recapture webbook response again. I'm going to click on yes. Over here you can see it is saying waiting for webbook response. Now I'm going to open my WooCommerce account, and over here from the WooCommerce category we're going to select orders right over here. After selecting on orders in my Google Sheets, I'm going to show you these are the orders that I've saved in my Google Sheets. You can see these are the orders and we have status as processing right over here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to update the status of these orders in my WooCommerce account. I'm going to select the dummy user order right over here. I'm going to update the order. So I'm going to click on dummy user right over here. This is the order right over here. And this is the order that I have saved in my Google Sheets. If I'm going to take you back to my Google Sheets, this is the same order details that is right over here. So in the place of status right over here, we're going to update the status. If the parcel is going to be shipped to this address right over here to our customer and the order status is perfectly completed, so on the place of status right over here, we're going to select it as completed. And after that, I'm going to update the status right over here. As you can see right over here, it says order updated, and over here it says order status changed from processing to completed. That means the order right over here is successfully updated. So now I'm going to open my Pabbly Connect account and I'm going to check whether the response of the updated status is captured or not. I'm going to open my Pabbly Connect account, and yes, over here you can see a new response is captured. If I'm going to scroll down right over here, you can see this was the same order that was in our WooCommerce account, and now this order right over here is updated. I'm going to show you. Over here in the place of status, you can see as it says completed, that means the order is successfully updated. So whether the status of the order is completed or there are multiple options, as you can see, pending payment, processing, on hold, cancelled, refunded, failed, draft, and there are multiple options right over here. So whichever status you're going to select right over here, automatically Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of that updated status. So this means that we successfully connected WooCommerce with Pabbly Connect. Now what I want is whenever a new update is done in my WooCommerce account, automatically my Google Sheets should be updated. So for that, what we're going to do is we're going to add our action step, and for the action application right over here, I'm going to select it as Google Sheets, and for the action event we are going to select it as lookup spreadsheet rows v2. We are using our action event as lookup spreadsheet row v2 because we want to change the status of the order that is right over here. And how we're going to do that? We're going to do that with the help of order ID. So now what we're going to do is we're going to set up a lookup spreadsheet row v2. After selecting a trigger application and the event, I'm going to click on connect. Then a new window is going to appear in front of you, on which I'm going to click on add new connection. But if you have an existing connection, you can choose this option. After that, I'm going to click on sign in with Google. Then a new window is going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a connection. I'm going to click on allow, as it's a safe process and my data is perfectly safe with Pabbly Connect. As you can see that we successfully authorized Google Sheets with Pabbly Connect. After connecting Google Sheets with Pabbly Connect, you can see it's asking for us to select a spreadsheet. So I've created a spreadsheet in my Google Sheets in the name of WooCommerce orders details. So over here for the spreadsheet, I'm going to select it as WooCommerce orders details. Next, it is asking for us to select a sheet. So in my spreadsheet, I have created a single sheet in the name of sheet 1. So in the place of sheet, I'm going to select it as sheet 1. Then over here it is asking for the lookup value. Which value do we have to look up to? So as I want the order ID should be looked up, so that whenever an order ID status is updated, automatically the data over here should be updated. So in the place of this lookup value right over here, I'm going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we're going to insert data from our previous step. As you can see, as I've clicked on this field, this was the previous step of my workflow. That was WooCommerce order updated. I'm going to click on this arrow right over here, and this was the response that was captured in our previous step. As I'm going to map the data for the order ID right over here, I'm going to map the data for the order ID right over here. This is the order ID. I'm going to map the data right over here. After selecting our lookup value, it is asking for the lookup column. So over here, which column do we have to look up to? So as we want the status of the order ID right over here, so as we want the column D right over here, so in the place of lookup column, we are going to write over here as column D, because we want to look up to the column value of the column D, that is order IDs right over here. Next, it is asking for the end column of the data. Over here, it is asking for the end column of the spreadsheet. So in my spreadsheet, the end column is column F. So in the place of end column of data, I'm going to write it as column F. Next, it is asking for lookup as date and other details. I'm going to skip this part, but next I'm going to click on save and send test request. So over here now we have received a response. The response that we have received all these details of the order that was placed. The order ID is right over here. For the shipping address, for the name as dummy user, email as dummy user, 555@pabblytuts.com, a dummy mobile number as shipping address right over here, status as processing. So we have captured the response with the help of lookup table. Now as we want to update the response, we are going to add another action step by clicking on this plus button right over here. And for the action application, I'm going to select it as Google Sheets. And for the action event, I'm going to select it as update row, as you want to update the status of the row. After that, I'm going to click on connect right over here. As I have the existing connection, I'm going to select the existing connection, but if you want, you can add a new connection. I'm going to click on save after selecting on select existing connection. Over here, it is asking for us to select a spreadsheet. So as I've already told you, I have created a spreadsheet in the name of WooCommerce order details. So I'm going to select my spreadsheet as WooCommerce order details. For the sheet as sheet 1. Next, it is asking for the row index. We have received a row index in our previous step. So we're going to map the data for the row index. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we're going to insert the data from a previous step. I'm going to click right over here. These were the previous steps of my automation process. I'm going to click on the Google Sheets lookup spreadsheet row V2 right over here. And in the response, you can see right over here, we have received a row index. I'm going to map the data of this row index right over here. As we do not want to update anything in these fields, I'm going to leave these fields empty. But for the status right over here, I'm going to map the data of the status that we have received in our previous step. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we're going to insert the data from our previous step, that was WooCommerce orders updated. And over here in the step, we have received the status. So for the status right over here, you can see it says completed. So I'm going to map the data of the status right over here. So whichever status is going to be updated in our WooCommerce, automatically the status is going to be updated in our Google Sheets. As we have mapped the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the data right away is going to be updated. After that, I'm going to click on save and send test request. As you can see right over here, we have received a response, and the response that we have received is a positive response. And now I'm going to open my Google Sheets and I'm going to check whether the status of the order that is placed is updated or not. For that, I'm going to open my Google Sheets. I'm going to scroll here, and yes, over here you can see for the status of this order right over here, for the order ID right over here is completed. That means that we successfully created an automation between WooCommerce and Google Sheets, so that whenever an order status is updated, automatically the status in our Google Sheet is going to be updated. But now what we are going to do is we are going to check whether the automation that we have created is successful or not. For that, I'm going to open my WooCommerce orders right over here. I'm going to click on orders right over here. Now in my spreadsheet, if I'm going to scroll down over here, we're going to check the data for the status was test user right over here. So in my Google Sheets, I'm going to update the order for the order ID 109651. So I'm going to open my WooCommerce account and I'm going to click on orders right over here. And for the order 109651, I'm going to update the status. I'm going to open this order right over here. And I'm going to scroll down, and for the status right over here, I'm going to select it as completed. After that, over here, I'm going to click on update to update the status. As you can see right over here, it says order updated. Over here, it says order status changed from processing to completed. Now I'm going to open my Google Sheets and I'm going to check whether the status in my Google Sheets of the same order is updated or not. For that, I'm going to open my Google Sheets. I'm going to scroll, and over here for the status, as you can see, it says completed. So this means that we successfully created an automation between WooCommerce and Google Sheets with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, I wanted that whenever the status of the order in my WooCommerce is updated, automatically the status should be updated in my Google Sheets of that same order. For that, what we have done is we have created an automation between WooCommerce and Google Sheets with the help of Pabbly Connect, and this is how we create an automation between these two applications. If you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video. Not just with these applications, you can create automation with the help of Pabbly Connect between multiple applications. If you have any doubts, you can send us email on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can ask your queries on forum.pabbly.com. If you have any queries regarding the pricing of Pabbly Connect, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions and doubts, and please share this video, and thank you for watching.